welcome to episode 1023 of the Player One podcast for Tuesday, July 7th, 2026. I'm your host, Chris Johnston. With me, as always, from Canada is the very well-lit Greg Seward.
I mean, very lit.
Or you're just
that means
very
something
lit.
else. That means something else. Yeah, I don't know what's going on. This is I don't know what's happening. I don't know why this is so. It could be that my camera is like, it set a white balance based on something when I turned it on, and it's just all screwy.
That could be.
In fact, I'll bet you that's exactly what's happening.
Well, now you're all yellow.
I am all yellow.
You're getting jaundice.
Well,
Here.
I mean, it's.
What happened?
I don't know. I just went
There
to
we
the
go. It's
settings, but
a little better now.
It's better. Okay. Hi, CJ.
Hi.
As I was saying before we started, it was so effing hot this week.
How hot was it?
So my son plays box lacrosse, and so that's played because we don't have any dedicated facilities for that in this part of the world. They play in skating like hockey rinks.
Sure.
Old, which generally tend to be very old buildings that were built to be rinks, like ice rinks.
Right.
They weren't meant to be used when there wasn't ice on the surface. So they're not built for summer. And summers are getting, I mean, in general, I'm not built for summer.
Me neither.
Summers are getting a lot warmer. So they don't have what I'm saying is they don't have good airflow. They don't have good cooling systems. And so when it gets super hot and humid, they tend to be very uncomfortable. And so this week, on Friday and Saturday, with the Humidex, it was over 40 degrees Celsius. I don't know what that is in Fahrenheit, and I'm not going to figure it out. It was warm.
Very warm.
And so you've got these 17 to 22-year-old young men running around wearing full gear in these arenas where there's no air movement at all.
Mm-hmm.
Just it's always been bad, but it was extremely bad this Saturday. And actually, in the game that his team was playing this Saturday, with a minute 36 left to play in the second period, the opposing team's goalie came off, started to come to the bench, which not super weird. If he gets hurt or something like that, or having a bad game, they might pull the goalie and put in the backup. So anyway, the goalie comes off. And they send the backup out, and he gets about halfway over to the net, and then the referee sort of throws his hands up in the air and says, "Actually, we're gonna start the second intermission early," because what had happened was because it was so hot, and they were exerting so much energy. The goalie that had come off the court had thrown up in his crease. Yeah,
okay.
And it was so hot that. And humid that they need to get a mop to clean it up, but it wasn't going to dry anytime soon.
No.
So they we're calling it 10 minutes. We're going to try to get the arena dried out. And anyway, it was oppressively hot to the point. It actually worries me that somebody's going to get legitimately hurt.
Right.
But there's nothing
stroke or something.
Yeah, exactly. But it's not something that the city or the province seems to care to do anything about, which pisses me off. Anyway. Yeah, that was my thing. It was too hot. It was too hot this week. Hey, happy Canada Day.
I know. Last week, July 1st, Canada Day.
Yeah. And I mean, the Americans had something going on this week too, right?
How did 4th of July, of course. Yeah.
Well, I mean, the 4th of July is just a date on a calendar.
Oh, well, yeah. How'd you celebrate? Did you do a...
my uncle does a barbecue, every year.
Nice. Very nice.
July 1st. So, yeah.
Good deal.
Yeah.
My July 4th.
What did you do this week? Yeah.
So they do the fireworks here on July 3rd. So
it's a very Seattle thing to do.
No. Well, it's like the county or whatever. So the city that I live in, they did their fireworks on the 3rd. And then, of course, everybody also does them on the 4th. So not only is it one night of loud noises after dark, it's a second night of loud noises after dark. So I did what any introvert might do. I went to bed early, took a nice sleeping edible, and put on my noise canceling headphones.
Mm-hmm.
and slept right through it on both the 3rd and the 4th.
Party animal.
In bed by 9. Yeah, it was great.
Up by noon.
I wake up earlier than that. Now, I mean, yeah, but way back in the day, I could sleep till noon, no problem. But now I cannot do that. That's not going to be a thing that happens. But yeah, it was good though. That's what I call a good 4th of July. So, yeah. Should we talk about some video game news?
Yeah, I mean, it's all good news from the looks of it, as usual.
Yeah, nothing possibly that could be bad or terrible or alarming in any way. Except for this from the PlayStation blog. Physical disc production ending in January 2028 for new games releasing on PlayStation consoles. So this news from Sony directly that they are going to stop making physical discs for the PS5, and presumably that means the PS6 will not have a disc format at all.
Yeah, I imagine that will mean no more disc drives on their systems.
Yeah, new games will be available on the PlayStation Store and at retailers in digital formats only. The transition has no impact on games that have already released or will be releasing prior to January 2028 in disc format.
Yeah, I think they said something like any game that has been already announced and has been announced that it will have a physical disc is still going to have a physical disc, no matter what.
That's right. That's right. And then there was a bit of information that came out a couple of places. I think Steven Totello's newsletter, GameFile, mentioned this, that even after the January 2028 date, games that have already been published on physical will be able to reorder if they need to. So there is that news. This, of course, only one of 2 sort of bombshell stories from Sony. This is the bombshell. This is the one that people are talking about.
Yeah, and I think rightfully so. I mean, we talked about this a little bit last week.
With GTA 6 being
digital only.
Right?
Yeah. I mean, this has been coming a long time, obviously.
Yeah.
I think we've hit the tipping point where somebody actually in our Discord, I think, posted the numbers, numbers on this about, I think it was Sony first party. And I think the most recent Sony first party, we're getting to the point where it's like a 50-50 or a little over a 50-50 in favor of digital sales wise.
Yeah.
Although I think there were some really weird numbers being thrown around that were not totally on the level. Where there was some percentage that was being thrown around that was kind of not true, because I think it was taking into account games that were already only released as digital releases.
Right.
And they were sort of lumping those in with the overall percentage of sales digital versus physical, which, I mean, I guess is technically a real number, but it's kind of
correct.
It's kind of not, I don't know, it's not totally honest. It's not a totally honest way of talking about things. But even when you do take those out, Sony first party, yeah, we're at that tipping point. And you know what? Memory being so expensive has helped push it over the edge, I think.
How so? Memory being so expensive that pushes it over the edge?
Yeah, because they're being squeezed in general. I mean, they're working from
they have to find more ways to
find savings. They need to find savings.
Profit off of games. Yeah. And this, because it's a razor and razor blades thing.
Exactly. And the razors are now becoming too expensive.
The razors are too expensive now. So they have to make the razor blades digital only.
Right. Yeah. I should say the razors are becoming too expensive to make.
Right.
And
a lot of physical game production moved from the US down to Mexico, which are, of course, tariffable items then.
Jesus. Yeah. I forgot about that.
I mean, it's not only this, but I'm sure this was in the works for a long time. And it sounds like at least one European disc manufacturing plant has already started transitioning to whatever they're going to be doing next. I mean, the one thing Sony's numbers don't take into account are used game sales, and people buying used titles. So that counts as a purchase, but obviously not in Sony's eyes because they're not making any money off of that. So,
well, yeah, I think that's the that's the perk.
That's the perk
for them, which was
this.
It's the same market that Microsoft was trying to kill with the Xbox One.
Right, but they were doing it way too early.
Sure. And it's the same market that everyone was trying to kill back in the day when all of your physical games came with that stupid code that you had to put in.
Right, remember the online pass.
Yeah, the online pass. That's it. Right. It's like this is not the first kick at the can, but I feel like it's a confluence of all the other terrible things that are happening.
And I don't imagine this industry one is going to be walked back.
Nope. No, I think we're going scorched earth.
Expect it doesn't matter how many online petitions people sign. No. I think this is it. In part because, let's face it, Sony doesn't have any competition at the moment, right? Like Nintendo is a completely separate thing. I don't think they see each other as in competition with one another, but Xbox would have been, and of course Xbox, who knows what's happening there now. And so I saw some people on Blue Sky make this joke, like Xbox has the chance to make like the greatest sort of meme, and do a version of the shoe Yoshida and that video.
Nobody will care.
The thing is, you think Xbox wants to continue making physical games too?
No.
Of course they don't.
Yeah. And I mean,
they're not going to make that easy win because they're just not going to do that.
Bill Mudron in the chat makes a good point too, where, really disk drives, not a lot of hardware uses disk drives anymore anyway. Right. So I'm sure they are probably getting more expensive to make. So,
true.
But it sucks. I'm not, I'm resigned to this as someone who went full digital a few years back anyway. But I'm not happy about it. I don't think it's very pro-consumer.
No.
But pro-consumer feels like something that was abandoned by many industries many years ago at this point. And
here's the thing.
I don't know what you do about it.
Physical games and also rentals have been a very important part of the video game industry for a long, long time, right?
Yeah.
Despite first party not liking that existence.
I mean, Nintendo was actually trying to kill rentals back in the 80s.
Exactly. But it's a very important part of, I think, the health of the industry to have that secondary market.
So, me too.
And of course, there are collectors who want to own a physical copy of the game, and that matters as well. There's nothing to really say about this. I mean, the industry is moving on.
It's going to be, and I mean, there's more knock on here too, where, I mean, the only company that's coming to mind right now is Limited Run Games. But I mean, there are other companies like that are built around releasing physical versions of games.
Yep.
And their business model is going to go out. Their business model is screwed now. If and when the next round of consoles comes out and doesn't have any sort of physical media reading ability.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, though their business model is screwed. And want to speak to that too, because a friend of the show and Toronto-based indie game developer, Benjamin Rivers of Vancico, he was actually quoted in a CBC article up here. And he made a really good point about physical disc versions of games being important due to the fact that there are so many indie games coming out. Discoverability is a big problem, right?
Absolutely.
Especially on like Steam, but really everywhere. Discoverability is a really big problem. And he said, speaking as an indie developer who has been able to take advantage of places like LRG releasing physical versions of our games, like that is a level of discoverability that really helps us.
Right.
because people pay attention to it. There's marketing there. Like you get noticed, and it's like that's an avenue that's now closing for indie developers. So
yeah, not great.
And the thing is that this, combined with the fact that memory prices are so high and will probably continue to be so high, that I feel like, well, we were already seeing it moving forward. I think we're going to have less storage in our consoles.
I could see that. I could see basically, here's the upsetting future that I see in my crystal ball is PlayStation 6 and Xbox Helix sold without an SSD.
That's what I'm saying. I think they're going to turn into an extra cost.
Buy your own memory.
Yep. That's the thing too, because for them to keep their prices down to something remotely close to acceptable, which honestly I don't think they're going to be able to anyway.
Right.
They're going to have to. If getting rid of the disk drive and then forcing everyone to go full digital, which means you've got to have storage, but then they're going to skimp on storage because it's going to be so expensive. They'll have no choice but to pass that cost onto the consumers. I think they're going to mitigate that by passing as little of that cost onto the consumer as possible, by including as little memory as they think they can get away with, and then forcing you to go out and buy something.
256 gigs? Is that 512? It's going to be something small like that.
I could see it being a terabyte or less.
I could see that. And the interesting thing is whether they will keep compatibility with the SSD storage that is used with PS5. So I have a PlayStation 5. I have a 2 terabyte SSD. Yep. Can I move that to PS6 then?
That will be interesting. Actually,
I kind of hope that I can, because
it'd be nice.
If I can, then I'm back in on PS6.
Yep, that's a really good point. Actually, like, can I just take what's there and it will transfer over? Right, like I can unplug the thing and just plug it in, and it works.
That would be fantastic.
That would be brilliant. That would be brilliant to do.
Who wants to doubt that they'll do that?
That's definitely pie in the sky. So.
Well, I mean, come on. But yeah, I think the sort of bring your own memory, the BYOM, is going to be.
I think it's going to be a major. I think it's going to be storage. It's going to become just as common as buying a screen protector for your mobile device.
It'll have to be. Have to be.
It's just going to be the way it is, which sucks, because that means that these consoles that are going to be well over $1,000 anyway, probably.
Yeah.
Are going to require $300 or $400 of memory to buy separately,
or you're going to have to clean out the fridge like every other
constantly.
Every other game,
because games aren't going to get smaller.
No,
so
yeah, especially AAA games not getting smaller.
Yeah,
I could see. Yeah, I mean the Switch 2 comes with 256 gigs.
Yeah,
and who knows that could change too. That could change in. Switch configurations to come.
I mean, they don't want to keep putting their price up. I was saying last week, sooner or later they're going to hit that point.
Yeah,
where the market just won't tolerate it.
I mean, are we there now?
I mean, I'm there, but I'm broke.
I think we might be there now on the current generation of consoles.
Yep.
But yeah, how do they sell the next generation of consoles? I have no idea. But to add to all of that news, Sony is also closing the digital store for PS3 and PS Vita by July 2027. It varies. The closing date varies depending on where you are in the world, but most Western countries and Japan, I believe, will be July 2027. So you may remember they announced this once before, but they walked it back. They announced it like 2 years ago, and they walked it back after the backlash. But of course, announcing it at the same time they announced that they're going to stop producing physical discs kind of takes all of the energy away from this announcement, which is really just closing the ability to purchase new digital games on those storefronts. Right. You can still download already purchased titles. Right. And they make an effort to say that in this news story that you'll be able to, for the foreseeable future, be able to download anything you've already purchased. So,
I mean, I wouldn't call this a bombshell. It sucks, but I mean,
it sucks. It was a bombshell 4 years ago.
Yeah, perhaps. I mean, it's been 13 years since Sony moved on to the PlayStation 4.
Yeah,
So
Yeah,
I mean, this happens. I hate that it happens. Don't get me wrong.
Sure.
But this happens. It was inevitable.
It was going to happen.
I mean, the Vita hasn't been a going concern for ever either.
Right.
So,
right.
You know, again, don't like it, but not as concerned about that. I'm more concerned about the issues in the future, but
not as concerned about that. Right. And then there's a rumor that Xbox is planning a way for players to convert their discs into digital copies.
Mm-hmm.
But honestly,
why though? I guess backwards compatibility for the next generation of console. I guess that makes sense.
I suppose it makes sense, but I don't have any
bunch of discs at my Xbox Series X. I guess
I don't have any Xbox One or Xbox Series discs.
I have a fair amount of Xbox One discs.
Oh yeah, Sunset Overdrive.
I think I do.
Is that open?
Yes.
Is it open yet?
I played it.
Did you really? Okay. That's such a good game.
Didn't like it.
Such a good game. Oh, such a good game.
Sunset Overdrive.
Sunset Overdrive is a good game.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I don't disagree. I just didn't like it.
So, of course, Xbox in the news still. Now that we're in July, the rumor is that this upcoming week, it may have already happened, is when they're going to start announcing studio closures and all of that. So, and to add to the list, Undead Labs, who works on the State of Decay series, is now added to the list of studios facing possible closure. There was a rumor that Obsidian was on that list, but that was quickly corrected.
Okay.
So Obsidian apparently not on the closure list. Although I heard today that Rare is on the closure list. I was like, what are you even doing if you're going to close Rare, the studio that has your one game as a service hit, Microsoft? Like, what are you doing? What are you doing?
Yeah.
It's just so frustrating. It's just so frustrating. I would say the obsession with the number always has to go up. Your profit always has to go up every single quarter. So you have to make cuts anywhere possible to inflate that number. It's ludicrous. It's not sustainable.
It's killing a lot of industries.
It's killing everything.
Yeah.
And I wish it would stop, but it's not going to because investors and all that bullshit. So, but anyway, Undead Labs may be closing as well.
Well, again, I hope all those studios that are possibly on the chopping block, if they're trying to buy themselves back, I hope they're successful.
I hope they're able to. Yes.
Yeah.
Compulsion and
pisses me off so much. The compulsion games is one. It got treated that way. I mean, it's kind of like you with Wanderstop, right?
Yeah,
where it's just like, because like Compulsion, I mean, they've been making games for years and their games were always okay, but then they make what I think is their masterpiece, win a bunch of awards, gone.
Which is what, didn't Xbox say that their whole deal with studio acquisitions is to win awards and
but I mean,
things for Game Pass? And
I talked about this last week, and it's not like, I don't know if you've lived through any sort of acquisitions or anything like that, but well, I mean, we did with Ziff Davis, where the first thing they always say in those situations is we don't want anything to change,
right? And that's not sustainable.
And that never lasts for more than a year.
Never lasts. No.
Yeah. So,
yeah.
Hey, what about the Splatoon Raiders Direct?
Yeah, Splatoon Raiders.
Let's do something positive.
Let's get excited about Splatoon Raiders. This game comes out at the end of July. It is a single-player focused Splatoon game, and it looks like basically like a single-player version of the Salmon Runs. So you are going to various locales and defeating salmonid enemies, which have now like leveled up and gotten much, much tougher. And you can see the minced scrapper here in the video that I'm playing.
The enemies in this game look so gross. And the cut
exactly.
like the
Well,
thing.
the
And I mean,
salmonids
I know it's on
especially.
purpose. Yeah, I
The
know it's on
salmonids,
purpose, but it's so effective because, and I'm not a Splatoon guy at all, so
Yeah.
like I don't know what salmonids are. But
Right.
you know, as far as Splatoon goes, I've always loved the color palette, the sort of the neon colors the bold colors that they've always used in these
Yes.
games. To the point that, like, even though I'm not a Splatoon guy, like my Switch 1, my Joy-Cons were the Splatoon Joy-Cons because I just loved the colors that they used on those things.
Hell yeah.
And I just, like, I have to say, like, with the Salmonids, every time I see this game, they've done such a great job as well of all the colors for the enemies being so gross looking, just so dour and like just like really like they look rotten.
They do. They're supposed to, though.
So effective. That's
They're
what I'm
supposed
saying.
to.
Like, every time you show video of this on the show, I'm always taken by how effective the color palette in this game looks.
Oh yeah.
So
yeah. I mean, Salmon Run was not. Yeah, Salmon Run was very oppressive enemy color palette thing, and that was always a 4-player thing in Splatoon 2 and 3, and this turns it into a single-player game. Although you can play with 3 other friends, you can play multiplayer either online or local. So you can do that if you want, but it's primarily a single-player game. Although if you're having trouble on some levels, you can call for help and have people join you for particularly difficult missions. So kind of like your Elden Rings or your Souls games that often have those type of call for help things. That'll be something in this game, which is cool. But you also have the members of the house band that are deep cut that help you.
Okay.
In stages. So, and in this one, not only do you have a weapon, but you can equip gadgets that give you special, like, awesome powers, like this splatterang, I think it's called. Something like that. Or it's like an ink force field that destroys enemies and paints the ground as well, so that you can get your ink back. And you have 3 different kinds of tanks, and you can equip different gadgets to those tanks. Initially 2, but apparently there's a way to get 3 gadgets on there.
These Splatoon kids, they lead with their hips. I'm just watching the animations, and
that's right. Anyway. That's right. But yeah, this looks great.
Like
I mean, I was already sold before this direct, so I already have it pre-ordered.
It looks great.
It does.
I agree. I mean, I again, not a Splatoon guy at all, but I've always loved the way these games look.
Yeah, it looks awesome, and I am very excited about Splatoon Raiders. And yeah, that's the news.
I mean, if that's where you want to stop.
That's where I want to stop. That's it for what you've been newsing.
All right.
Let's get into what you've been playing. Greg, how about you tell us about the things you have been playing?
Okay, now that I'm done yawning. Sorry about that. Yeah, so I went back to Forbidden Solitaire this week. I haven't played it in a little while. And I don't know why I hadn't played it in a little while. Just one of those things where I hadn't picked it up. So it's like, you know what? But I knew I felt like I was getting pretty close to the end of it. So it's like, I just want to like push through this. I think it's because I was on a battle where I died over and over again. And I mean, I didn't quit in disgust or anything, but it's just like, okay, I'm just going to take a break because I have other stuff to play right now. And I'll come back to this because I just couldn't sort this battle out. But anyway, I did that. And I finished the game. I finished the game this week.
All right.
Yeah. And I'll tell you, man, like I am so impressed by not only like the premise of it. I love this whole like cursed 90s CD-ROM game aesthetic they've gone for. And they really lean into it. You know, while you're playing, your sister is constantly text messaging you as the character. So you'll start a level and she'll break in. It's like, I found this news story. I found this newspaper article. And like, as the story goes on, she's getting more and more frantic. Cause like the whole, I'll give it away cause it's fine. But the whole thing is that, the reason this game has gained such notoriety is that there's a rumor that if you finish the game, you die. If you play the game and you finish it, you'll die.
I expected that to be the end game.
Yeah. Right. So, she's researching this the whole time while you're playing. And then she gets pretty frantic by the end of the game, just sort of begging you to stop playing. But then also you'll get sort of recordings and things playing while you're playing around, like sort of breaking into it. And I just really love it, man. It's such a cool idea. It's such a neat little game. They kind of write themselves into a corner at the end.
Oh, really?
There are two endings, and I got both. But there's clearly an ending you're supposed to get, but it's kind of counterintuitive, I found personally.
Okay.
But it's not really a complaint, but it's just like, okay, when I went back and got the proper ending, I was like, yeah, I mean, they really couldn't do much else with that, the way they'd written the story. But yeah, I mean, I really like the different power-ups. Like by the end of the game, I was getting really good at sort of managing my jokers and going on these really long runs of cards and things like that. And sort of knowing when to save them and knowing when to place specific jokers at specific times. And I felt pretty powerful by the end of the game. I was really sort of proud of the way I was playing. So I really enjoyed it. It's a lot of fun, and it's so cheap and it's so accessible. I highly recommend trying it, especially if you listen to this show, so you're probably a little long in the tooth, and do
you mean old?
Yeah, it'll harken back to your memories of playing CD-ROM games in the 90s, I think. So
yeah, definitely.
Yeah. And it's very satisfying. I really enjoyed it. So
it is a great game.
You should go back and finish it.
Steam Deck, and it works great with the Steam controller. I really should. I want to. Yeah.
I don't know how long I spent on it. And then New Game Plus unlocks, which basically you can go back and play any level you want to with whatever powers you want.
Oh, that's cool.
Okay. Yeah, they're just basically like, here's the toolbox. Do whatever you want.
I believe they added that in a post-launch update.
Oh, okay.
So I think that is a fairly recent addition.
I didn't see it until I finished the game. So
yeah.
So yeah. And speaking of card games and feeling really powerful, I've been continuing to play Vampire Crawlers. I think I might be on the final stage. And kind of the same thing. Like, I'm getting really good now at just stringing together crazy combos in this game. Sort of really, I've unlocked, I think, the right power-ups. Obviously, you're a little bit at the mercy of the randomization of the different power-ups in games, but you get a lot of re-rolls when you go up levels and things like that. And depending on which crawlers you've unlocked, I've actually unlocked the ability to have 2 crawlers at the beginning of a dungeon now.
Nice.
Unlocked a bunch of pretty high-level cards as well. So I'm going on runs now where I'm just feel like a god. I mean, I'm just
decimating everything.
It's getting so big, and I'm getting so good at doing really, 20 card combos and things like that. And it's awesome. I mean, it definitely got a little bit tedious in the middle of the quest that you're on in this game, but I found my way past that, and it got really good again. Got so good again. So I feel like I'm on the final stage. I could be wrong, and I'm looking at sort of the unlock list, and there's a couple things that the unlock list has gotten pretty small. There's a couple things that I still don't really understand how I would do what it's asking me to do, because this game, much like Vampire Survivors, you have it gives you a list of the unlocks, and it sort of tells you what you got to do to unlock this thing, but some of the terminology that it uses, it doesn't explain what that means, right? Just I've unlocked this thing, now I understand this item that does this, et cetera, et cetera. And there's a couple things on that unlock list still where it's I don't know how I would do what you're telling me I need to do. So there's clearly there are clearly elements of the game I haven't yet figured out.
Okay.
And I think I mentioned last week, the way that when you beat a final boss in a stage, the way they end the stage is the Grim Reaper appears and kills you. But much like Vampire, and that happens in Vampire Survivors as well. But much like Vampire Survivors, it does seem like it's possible to defeat him. You actually do get to fight him if you have the revive ability.
Okay.
And I've had one situation where I revived, I had like 8 revives in a row, but he kills you with 1 hit every time. So like when it's his turn, you die. So if you can't revive again, you're done. But if you can revive, you get another turn. So yeah, I'm guessing that's, much like Vampire Survivors, that's one of the ways that a big chunk of the game gets unlocked, but I haven't figured out how to do it.
Probably.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, but yeah,
Cool.
I mean, still going on a run every now and then, and the runs are getting, again, I keep saying this, but it's true, much like Survivors, the runs are getting quite lengthy. But I mean, you're actively engaged the entire time because you have to pick the different cards. I will say that the interface still struggles a little bit there, though, because when you can get to the point where your deck is, I haven't gotten a 40 card deck yet, but I've gotten really close, and you can get to the point via different power ups and different cards that you play that the hand that you're dealt is quite big,
right?
Like 12 cards, and the way the interface is built, it's not very user friendly.
Right,
because the cards at either end are really hard to see.
Right, and you need to combo in sequential order, like play 1,
and you
0, 1, 2, 3.
With the controller, I don't think it's possible to sort them.
It is
possible with a touch screen.
Yeah.
But the other problem is that bosses, I don't think this happens at the beginning of the game, but near the end of the game, bosses don't just take their turns. They run on a timer. So like the longer you take to do something,
oh, really?
the more they're going to attack.
I haven't gotten to that point.
Yeah, so like they'll usually those some kind of like it's usually like a circle of icons that'll appear over their heads, and like I think the one I see the most is like their eyes, and as the eyes open, kind of like a clock, once all of them have opened, the boss is going to take its turn, even if you're in the middle of a combo. It doesn't matter.
Okay.
So when you get like these like dozen cards across the screen and you're trying to figure out, it's like I've got a -2 and a -1, and there's a 0 over here, and there's a 1 over here, and there's a wild card, and it's like you'll be going through that combo, and then suddenly you can't choose a card, and that's because the timer has ended and the boss is about to attack you.
Yep.
So I get it, because they want to keep the game moving.
Makes the turbo wild card. It's
exactly. I mean, it makes total sense, and it doesn't ruin the game at all. But it can be a little bit like, man, I wish I could hold a button, and maybe you can, and I just don't know about it. But I wish I could hold a button that would just sort these cards for me.
If that were an option, we would know about it. That would be like one.
I feel like it, but I mean, I also didn't know I could do a cockpit view in Star Fox. So
that's true.
Because you know why?
Because
games don't come with instruction manuals anymore. That's why.
Oh, you didn't open the box, read the instruction manual on the drive home,
right?
While your mom was driving home.
That's why I knew how to play Final Fantasy the first time I put it in my NES, because I already memorized the instruction manual on the drive home from New Hampshire. So
that's right.
But again, that's a nitpick. It's not really affecting my enjoyment of the game at all. It's like their last game. They do a great job of making you feel super powerful at the end of the game, or deep into the game anyway. Like it absolutely is the case. So I'm still really digging it, man.
Cool. Yeah, I need to get back to this one as well.
And then the other one that I'm still picking away at is Lego Batman. Is it Legacy of the Dark? I always remember.
Legacy of the Dark Knight.
So I've been sort of just running around Gotham now, cleaning up the various things you can do. Like there are Riddler puzzles, and there are it's not Taskmaster. He's like the Riddler. There are 2 different guys that are setting up puzzles around Gotham, and like you can do fighting trials and racing trials and traversal trials and Wayne Tech chips, and just a lot of stuff you can do it on the map. And there's a lot of expansion you can do in the Batcave, which I haven't really touched on yet. Like there are actually the screen that you've got running right now. So there are whole sections in the Batcave that have the floors that are just the Lego platforms.
Yep.
And that's where you can actually place items that you buy from Batmite, which there are dozens upon dozens of items you can buy from Batmite. So I haven't really expanded the Batcave very much yet. I'm not super interested in it, to be honest. But yeah, just sort of doing a lot of cleanup as I head to the next stage. I just finished the Poison Ivy section. Poison Ivy, very much based on the Uma Thurman Poison Ivy. And one of the things that I noticed, and I've kind of talked about this before, because there's lots of just Batman references in the game, obviously. But there have been a lot of other references, and I've mostly come across them as, references to films or lines from films that the actors who played these characters in the Batman movies were also in, right? Like Liam Neeson was a great example of that. But during the Poison Ivy section, I was also realizing that they're making references to other films based on sort of animation. So like you get into the botanical gardens to deal with Ivy, and when you enter the gardens, a big Venus flytrap monster chases you in and then pulls the building down behind you, and it's very clearly based on the Fellowship of the Ring entering the Mines of Moria. Like it's clearly meant to look like that. Which I was like, oh, that's interesting. And then you go through the botanical gardens and you fight Ivy, and she's like a multi-stage boss. And then in the second phase, she grows a snapdragon, it's just a two-headed dragon, like a plant-based two-headed dragon, right? And when the snapdragon appeared, this seems so silly to me, but it's got two heads, and they kind of like, one snaps at the other one, and the other one recoils and then kind of growls and raises its head up this really certain way. And when I was watching it, I was like, that's from something like that. I've seen that animation. Like it's a very distinct animation. And I was racking my brain. It was Jurassic Park. That's exactly it. I was racking my brain. Like it was an hour after I played where in my head, I was like, oh, it was the raptors from Jurassic Park. That's exactly what it was.
And I went, shot is so iconic.
Looked up the scene. Yeah, it's when they enter the kitchen. The two raptors enter the kitchen, and one of them snaps at the other one, and the other one recoils and then kind of growls and raises his head back up. And it was frame for frame the same animation. And that's amazing. It was so funny because like I couldn't remember where I'd seen it, but it was just eating at me the whole time. It's like, God, what was it? Like, was it a Hydra? Was it like Hercules? What the hell was it? And then it just like, oh, the raptors. Yep. I went and looked it up, and that's exactly what it was. So
nice.
So yeah, I mean, it's still, I got to hand it to them. They've done a fantastic job in this game of just giving you lots of things like that to discover, while they're just sort of obviously paying loving homage to all the different Batman films and cartoons and things like that. But yeah, I will say, like, you're showing the parade here from the first Burton Batman, and I had mentioned that a few weeks ago when I was in the Flugelheim Museum level that they were playing Party Man by Prince, which is, of course, the song that played during that scene in the movie. So I was really looking forward to this parade scene because, of course, in the movie, iconic scene, and playing the song Trust by Prince. So I assumed that they were going to do that. They actually did not.
Probably because
they've spent all their money on the other one.
So much money on that other one,
which is fine because the Flugelheim Museum scene hinges on that song.
Absolutely,
does. This one doesn't really, but the music they used was clearly based on the song. So, but it wasn't the song. So, because he gives the same, hubba hubba hubba, money money money. Who do you trust? So, anyway, yeah, still really enjoying it. The pacing is still a little bit meh. But when you are doing the linear stages, they're moving the story along fast. Like at the end of this parade scene, they do kind of a little deft transition from the Nicholson Joker to the oh my God, what's the Heath Ledger Joker? And I've gone through Poison Ivy, and I've gone through Two-Face, and it's very clear that the next stage that I'm dealing with is going to be Bane and Dr. Freeze.
Okay.
So who is based on the Arnold Schwarzenegger Dr. Freeze.
I heard that. Yeah,
So
I saw a couple scenes in the
So I'm
trailer.
still waiting to see, because they use the song in the commercials, in the ads a lot. They used "Kiss by a Rose."
Yeah,
And I'm still waiting to see if that song is going to make an
I
appearance.
believe it is in there because
Is
I
it?
think, like the museum scene, I think they even put out like a clip of it in the
Did they?
game. So
Okay. Yeah. So anyway,
that's exciting. I need to get back to this one too. Damn it, there's so many games.
it's really cute. Yeah, I'm kind of glad that we're in a bit of a lull right now, because I'm not.
We're not in a lull. What lull are you talking about?
Well, for me anyway, I'm not jamming my way through this. I'm enjoying playing it sort of at my own pace.
Yeah.
But when another game comes out that I'm really excited about, I don't want to back burner this game. I do want to finish it. So
yeah.
But anyway, that's what I've been playing this week.
Very nice.
I thought so.
Yeah. Well, I have been playing a Picross game.
I see that.
Continuing the Sega Genesis and Master System Picross from Jupiter on the Switch, and I finished it.
You did?
Last week. I finished it.
So
the 20 by 15 puzzles.
Okay.
I did all of the Picross puzzles. Okay. I did all of the clip Picross puzzles.
Okay.
And then I started doing the color Picross puzzles as well. I was like, yeah, like maybe I'll try the color Picross area. And I was able to do like the first row of color Picross stages. And then I hit one where I was having some trouble, and I was like, oh, well, maybe my brain is not yet attuned to color Picross. At first I was like, damn, am I actually getting color Picross for the first time ever? Like doing
color Picross is hard.
Doing those puzzles. Yeah, it is hard. But I did the first row of puzzles. I was like, this is amazing. I love this. And then got to the second row where it was a little more difficult. And I was like, screw this. I'm going
home.
Game. So then I loaded up out of Picross S9 or something and did some more puzzles there and felt good about myself, and then shut it down.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Well, Rhythm Heaven Groove came out.
Yeah, I got to play that demo. Or is it gone?
No, the demo's still available.
Okay.
So yeah, you do need to play the demo. The demo is the first 5 stages of the game. Or the first 4, and then the remix stage, because all the Rhythm Heaven games have like a certain row of challenges and then the remix stage that kind of mixes bits from all the other 4 stages you played into one.
Okay.
And yeah, it's still really good. I'm having fun with it. I sort of put it on the back burner a little bit because I want to play it when my daughter's here this week.
Right,
we'll do a bunch of the co-op stuff. But I played a little bit of the like dungeon crawler game that's available, and it's pressing buttons to the beat, of course, to do different things like cast spells and cast healing. And yeah, it's really great. Just like all the other Rhythm Heaven games.
It does look really good.
Yeah, it does for sure. Yeah, and all of the little games are fun. All of the stages are really fun. So yeah, I'm enjoying the hell out of it. And then I played some GTA 5.
Some what?
Yeah.
GTA 5?
Grand Theft Auto 5?
Explain.
You know it?
Why did you do that?
I was like, well, GTA 6 is coming out, and I've not played any GTA 5.
Wow.
And so I loaded it up and started playing. I don't know if I'll continue very far in, but...
I was going to say, so how was that?
Also, I'm a terrible driver in that game.
You were a terrible driver in real life, too. So.
I'm a terrible driver in video games in general. Just, Which, by the way, did you see the previews of Star Wars Galactic Racer that came out a week ago? That game, there are a bunch of impressions from Summer Games Fest and a bunch of positive impressions from that. And then the preview footage makes it look like it's got a lot of Burnout DNA in there.
I have heard that.
It is former Criterion people who have worked on the Burnout series, but this game seems to have like a takedown sort of thing where it like zooms the camera out and like follows the car that you've, or the vehicle that you've taken out. So I'm like, yes, very, very exciting. And I guess the story mode is a bit like a roguelike.
Really?
As well, like a repeatable campaign that you can go back to. I'm very excited about that. So, yeah, that comes out
interesting
September or October. It's not too long to wait now, but I'm very excited about Star Wars Galactic
everything
Racer.
else is coming out too.
I know. Did you try the Onimusha demo at all?
No, I'm not interested in Onimusha.
No, I was thinking about trying it just in case, but yeah, there's so many games coming out in September, especially.
Yeah, there really are.
A lot of good stuff. All right, I think it is time to head to Blue Skies.
Blue skies. Go ahead. That's all you get. You get that one line.
That's all I get?
Yep.
Oh. Let's do this one from listener Alejandro, who says, "Salutations, gentlemen. As always, thank you for making the week a little less stressful with your chatter, especially when you talk about growing up in general. You both are great communicators." All right.
Aww.
Here's a question for the good
Mr.
Mr.
doesn't think so.
Neither does mine. Here's a question for the good Mr. Seward. Have you ever listened to the music of Toronto band Len?
I've heard "Steal My Sunshine."
That's the only song I've heard from Len.
That's the only song. Yeah. Although one of the reasons why I remember that so much, one of the reasons I remember it so much is because it was played ad nauseum back when it was new. But if I remember correctly, the music video for that song was filmed in a place called Old Orchard Beach in New Hampshire or Maine. Anyway, the reason I don't remember which state it was, but that was a regular stop for us on my summer vacations when I was a kid. We would go down to Maine and New Hampshire, and we would always go to Old Orchard Beach.
Why would they film the video there instead of like California
or bro? What do you want me to say?
Florida.
Because it's, I don't know.
That's weird. Anyway.
But the reason, again, I just remember seeing the video and it was in Maine and saying like, that looks like Old Orchard Beach. And then I looked it up and and you know what? I'm wrong. It was actually filmed in Daytona Beach.
Well, that makes more sense. That makes more sense.
It really looked like Old Orchard Beach. So there you go.
Well, once you've seen one beach, you've seen them all.
Yeah.
I mean,
I've been to Daytona a few times too. So
water.
But it's funny. So yeah, Old Orchard Beach. So I remember that so distinctly because it was a regular stop for us on our trips to Maine. And the reason I remember it so distinctly is because it had a big open air arcade. And the first time I ever played the full size sit down, like car shaped version of Outrun was at the big open air arcade at Old Orchard Beach.
Nice.
I loved that place so much. Played a lot of Paperboy there, a lot of Pac-Man. Yeah.
Nice.
But yes, that's it. That's the only song I've ever heard by Len.
That's the only song I've ever heard by Len.
That's what I think most people have ever heard by Len.
Yeah.
Honestly, until you asked me that question, I didn't know they were Toronto-based.
Exactly. Neither did Alejandro. He sent an email correcting himself. He thought they were from Halifax. So, no, they're from Toronto.
Sloan was from Halifax, I think.
Oh yeah,
yeah. One of my old roommates used to jam with his band in the same space that Sloan practiced.
I see.
That's as close as I came to stardom there. My one of my daughter's best friend's uncle is in Great Big Sea. He's in town right now, and yeah.
That's a Canada thing.
Sean McCann, Great Big Sea, great band.
That's a Canada thing. Yeah,
it's an Eastern Canada thing.
Well, there you go. When you were talking about arcades, and I kind of wondered this week with all of the like memory prices and with game prices going up, like, are we about to see a resurgence of not arcades exactly, but there are those places already that are like LAN gaming places that have
I feel like a lot of them
PCs.
have closed.
I feel that too. But I'm kind of wondering if that isn't about to make a comeback. It's like you don't have the great rig at home. Can you sign into your Steam account and play?
I mean, it's not a terrible idea.
Or if we are talking about PlayStation 6 being, not a mass market item, is there a place for like is what I'm saying is GameStop going to reemerge as a
so we have a question about that here, right?
We do. Let's read that question here. Wait, where is it? Okay,
it's right at the top.
This is from Hacker Alias Adam America, who says, how do you think GameStop, and more importantly, independent video game shops, are going to survive in a market that may be digital only for new titles by the time we hit the 2030s?
I don't think they're going to. Although, so went into GameStop.
I think GameStop will be rebranded as CardStop.
Okay, so that's what I was going to say, because we went into a GameStop recently, actually, like this week. A buddy and I went in. Just we were happened to be nearby, and I was like, let's go to GameStop, and they're having a Magic tournament.
Did you mention this last week on the show?
Yeah, I might have. So I think that's how they survive. I mean, they haven't been surviving on video game sales for a long time now.
This is also true.
They've been toys and collectibles more than anything else forever now. So,
but in terms of mom and pop video game shops, I think that
I don't know, man,
a little bit different. But I could see. I don't know if this would happen, but I could see a demand for playing games in a shop like that. Like if the PlayStation 6 is prohibitively expensive, you get a store to buy a couple PS6s and set them up, and then I don't know, rent it out by time or something like that. Like you could,
like the old days. That's what we used to do.
That could happen. Yeah, I could see it.
Especially, I don't know. I mean, I feel like
your own memory, which is what we're kind of speculating about. Who knows if that'll come to pass? But
I feel like something's going to have to happen, but I don't know what it's going to be.
Yeah, I mean, things have already happened. Like the Steam Machine originally was going to come with a dual band memory, and they had to
pick the wrong time to break into the console market.
I know.
Crap.
Hopefully, there'll be a reset at some point, because I think they could have been really successful.
Yeah,
but not now.
Nope.
But yeah, the Steam Machine originally was going to come with 2 memory units, but now they went down to 1 because it's cheaper. They're using like cheaper memory than they had originally planned.
Oh, okay.
So that kind of thing is already happening. So what is going to be these next generation consoles? What is going to be the thing we don't like about them? I could see it being bring your own storage.
Yeah, I really think that's going to be one of the things.
I mean, handhelds have been that way forever, right? The Vita was like that. You had to buy a memory card for that.
Yep.
Switch.
Well, I mean, the PSP was like that.
PSP.
Remember, and it had proprietary memory. Remember that?
Do remember that.
With the Memory Duo or the
Memory Stick Duo.
Memory Stick Duo. God, what a stupid idea.
That was arrogant Sony, right?
It was.
In the position of power.
Yeah.
Which they're kind of in the position of power again.
Yep. Looking forward to that.
Yeah. It'll be fine, probably. I don't know. Let's do this one from Hacker Alias New York Badger, who says 2 questions. Actually, I think it's 3 questions. Given that physical media has been on the chopping block for a while, who else but Rockstar could have gone 100% digital? Then as we enter, let's answer that question first.
I think other than Rockstar, to a lesser extent, Nintendo.
Really? Okay.
I think if Nintendo had done it, they would have survived it. You know what I mean?
What do you mean would have survived it? Sony's going to survive this.
Yeah, but Sony's going to survive it because Rockstar's the tip of the spear. You know what I'm saying?
I suppose. They would have phased out physical discs, I think, anyway.
Sure, but I think the timeline is sped up because of Rockstar.
The announcement is coming at this time because
yes,
GTA 6.
Exactly. And I think that the question obviously is like, could anyone else have done that? And I think that Nintendo could have, just because Nintendo's fans are very loyal.
I was thinking about this question a little differently. Like, what third party, not talking about first party.
Then the third party, I don't know.
I think sports games could have done this potentially, because sports games are that kind of game where you release it physically, and then like as soon as the calendar year flips, they're all in the used bins and they're cheap as shit. And
you're not wrong. They're because they've always been pretty disposable. So
yeah,
I could see that. But I mean, I think that it definitely has way more impact being Grand Theft Auto 6.
Oh, for sure.
Because like I think sports, you're right. Maybe EA could get away with it, or 2K could get away with it. Yeah. But I don't know that it would be industry changing.
No, it wouldn't have been industry changing. It would have just been more towards the tipping point.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Let's do this second question here. As we enter the days of unaffordable gaming, does the industry move away from AAA?
No.
And if not for AAA, is there any reason for a PlayStation 6/Helix?
No.
Does the industry move away from AAA? I don't think so.
No, I don't think it does.
No.
But again, like I was saying last week, I kind of hope there's a reckoning. But I don't think it's going to happen this year.
What does a reckoning mean to you? What does that mean? What does that look like? When you say, I hope there's a reckoning,
sales downturn, like a significant sales downturn.
You were hoping for a sales downturn?
Yep.
Why?
I'm hoping for a correction.
Why?
I'm hoping for a correction because everything's too expensive. It's just too expensive.
True.
Like, if it wasn't for this, like for me personally, if it wasn't for this show, I would not play nearly as many new games. Because I just could, the prices become, and again, I can only speak for my situation, but speaking for myself, I support 5 people on a single salary.
Yeah,
I can't afford $110 video games, right? I can't afford $1,000+ consoles, and that's where we're at. So, if there isn't some kind of, I'm saying reckoning, but if there isn't some kind of significant correction.
You mean let's come up with a word, a correckoning. There we go.
There you go.
Show title.
I think that people are getting pushed out of this hobby.
I think that's true. Yeah, for sure.
Or you stick to,
especially now because the used market is going to be gone.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Right? Because you're going to have to
watch sales. You're going to have to watch
as things have gotten more expensive.
Discounts.
The used market has gotten even more important.
Yeah.
And now we're killing it. So
we're not killing it. It's being killed.
It's being
summarily destroyed by
So
Grand Theft Auto and
so I don't want to see people losing jobs, but that seems to be happening anyway. But as someone who this hobby is a big part of my life and a big part of my identity.
Same.
It can't keep going the way it's going. It just can't. Because it's unaffordable.
Fix for that? Like I don't
know what the fix is, but it's definitely not going the way it's going now.
Yeah, I mean, part of the fix is just being happy with the current generation for a few more years.
Well, I mean, and that's just it. Like the thing I think more and more people are going to start realizing. I think that this was going to be a good thing for Steam. Ultimately, not because the Steam Deck, the Steam machines, because that's been ridiculous. I would say that's a disaster. But so far, because they got into the market at the wrong time.
It's not going to be as mass market a machine as it could have been because of the current supply chain issues.
But almost everybody has a PC. And I think it's going to
not necessarily the best gaming PC.
Sure, but the Steam library is deep.
That's true.
It's really deep.
Yeah.
So, and good old games as well. Like GOG's library is, so I think that, I know personally, I'm definitely going to be leaning more on my collection or emulation, and not to emulate new games, but to go back and play stuff on the backlog.
Actually, this brings up an interesting point then, because if that is true, if that idea is true, could you see more developers and publishers going back and basically updating their previous games with new content? Or
I think we're seeing a lot of that now.
We're already kind of seeing it, but do you think they could dig even further into the backlog and freshen up games that are catalog titles, but make enough of an addition to them to make them worthy of like a new PR bump? Or
maybe, but I mean, you'd still need to do that in such a way that you're releasing it at a lower price. Like, I think Star Fox is a good example of that. What you're describing is Star Fox is an example of that, right? And it's not that Star Fox is cheap, but it's much more reasonable.
Yeah, what I'm thinking
a
more
new
is
full
like
price game.
Yakuza Kiwami, basically, like on Steam.
Sure, but if you release it as an $80 game, that doesn't fix the problem.
No, I know, but I mean, on Steam, for instance, you could buy the Kiwami upgrade for a lower price.
Oh, I see what you're saying. An upgrade path.
Yes.
Okay. Yes.
Yeah. An upgrade path for people who already own the game, and then a lower price, quote unquote, not $80 price.
Yeah.
For the new
I could see that
version, right?
I could see that. And I also think, I mean, one of the upsides here is I think it's going to make backwards compatibility even more important than it already is. And it's already very important. It's been important for 2 generations now. But yeah, I think that's a positive.
Mm-hmm.
Although, again, if you have to buy everything digitally,
which you're going to have, I think
you're going to be leaving some people behind there who are definitely still buying physical discs.
You are going to be leaving people behind. Yeah. Absolutely. And the funny thing is, we don't even know like what that looks like, because Sony in their decision isn't really counting used sales. Like, we don't know what that part of the industry evaporating is really going to do, whether those people will move to buy new or
it's the same. It's the same conundrum that they've always had regarding piracy, right? Where and that's conversation comes up every now and then.
Sale when in actuality it's not, probably.
Exactly, right. And that's been a conversation for a long time, where exactly what you said, where Nintendo or somebody would release a press release like, by our estimation, this game was pirated 10,000 times, so that's 10,000 lost sales. That's not really true.
No, because those 10,000 people probably would not have paid full price.
Right, a chunk of them would have.
Sure.
But not 100%. So it's definitely along those same lines. But yeah, no, I think an upgrade path makes a lot of sense. But the shitty thing about that is that
have a really good back catalog of titles they could potentially refresh.
But I mean, I want to move forward too.
Well, yeah,
I want new stuff.
I do too. I don't want to just play Assassin's Creed Black Flag over and over again
this week. I mean, that seems to be Ubisoft's entire business model this year.
I know.
So,
I never played that Rayman Legends game. So
yeah, it's funny because I'm also thinking of, there was something that wasn't on the outline, but that I was talking about in our Slack. So there's a YouTuber, and I forget which one this was that did this, but he did he does videos. He helped me out on the Ridge Racer video, actually, but he does videos anytime something new comes out on Nintendo Switch Online. He will run a video like, what did the critics say about this game back in the day?
Yeah.
Right?
Defunct games.
Stop Skeletons for Fight. No, is it Defunct Games?
Yeah.
Anyway, he did a first half of 2026 report card on Nintendo Switch Online.
Yeah.
And I shared the graphic where it was there's been 14, 16, 19, 23 games released in the first half of 2026 for Nintendo Switch Online.
Yeah. How many
14 of them were Virtual Boy.
Exactly.
Which means if you didn't buy a peripheral, 14 of those games don't exist for you.
Sure.
So that leaves 5, 7, 8, 9 new games released in the last 6 months.
How many of those are platforms that are only available on the higher tier NSO?
2.
Yeah, because that's GameCube.
3 games. 3 games. GameCube and N64. 3 games.
And GBA, I think, is also.
Sorry, there's 1. So 4. Yes. 4 of those games. So if you're not paying for expansion pass, you've gotten 5 games. 2 Game Boy, 3 Nintendo. If you are, then you've also gotten 4 games for the N64, GBA, and GameCube. Nothing for the Genesis, nothing for the Super Nintendo. Right. And the point I'm trying to make here, and the point that he was making, I think, in the video, is that at what point do we feel like we're being taken advantage of? Because that's a service we're paying for. We're not paying a lot.
You're paying month.
But we are paying for it.
Or yearly.
And it was part of the promised value that we were paying for.
Yeah. But now, I mean, you have that perpetual. I mean, you have that library. They haven't taken any games away from it.
You have it now, but what happens in the next? I mean, they've refreshed. They've refreshed the Virtual Console a couple of times already.
What do you mean?
As in, they killed it. To go to NSO, they killed the Virtual Console.
They killed the Virtual Console.
So they took a bunch of stuff away.
They did,
so that they could re-release it.
Not on the current NSO thing. They haven't taken away any NES games or Game Boy games or any of that stuff.
I mean, in a small enough window, yes. But I'm saying that, previously people
had
just
out of
big libraries that were just taken away.
Yeah.
So if you bought them. So that's what I'm saying. It's like, just at what point do that, along with things like Sony killing a bunch of movies on their service, like,
well, to me, the question with the NSO stuff is how long were those NSO contracts made for? Because they probably have a termination date.
I'm honestly not even. I'm less worried about that because it hasn't happened yet. I'm more concerned about the fact that I've complained about this on the show forever. The trickling of new titles is ridiculous. It's ridiculous.
It is. Yeah. I would expect they'll add a new console or 2 or 3 maybe, but the GameCube that they just added, I think there's only like a handful of games for that.
Yeah, there's like 4 or 5 games for that.
It's not even a full screen.
No. Yeah. That's what I'm saying. That's ridiculous.
That is ridiculous. But by the way, do you use Nintendo Music at all?
No.
Nintendo Music is great.
Yeah, I don't really care, and
now you can use it on the web as well, and they're doing CarPlay and
the point
Android
being,
Auto.
The point being, I don't want to focus too much on the Nintendo services. That wasn't really the point. It was meant to be more of just an indicator of a larger problem, which is like, again, we're being squeezed so hard. We're having every cent wrung out of us at every turn.
This is true.
And we're not getting much value for it anymore. And
always been true.
Yeah. No, it hasn't always been true. It's getting worse. And if you go and actually watch that video, he even points out it's getting worse.
Yeah.
Like year over year, it's getting worse. Again, focusing on NSO, but that's not my lone point. But I'm just saying, like, I think GTA 6 is going to mask this for 2026.
Right.
But I feel and I hope
2027 is going to be
we're nearing a tipping point. I think we're nearing a tipping point. I really do. Everything's just getting way too expensive, and we're not getting the value we used to get for these subscriptions we're being forced to pay. That's my position on it.
I think you have a very good point. Yeah. Let's do. There was more to New York Badgers question. Well, he replied to himself and he said, "I think for the second question, I keep coming back to the Switch and Switch 2. Between strong indie support and Nintendo delivering solid-looking games that use what the hardware is capable of, aesthetic design, those systems really punch above their weight." I think that's true. Also, the last part of his question, I want to say, like, are we moving away from AAA? I think the problem is that even AA, single A, and indie are being affected by this too. There was a Jason Schreier video last week that I think is really good, talking about indies and, all these people are being laid off from Bungie and all of these companies. Why don't they just make an indie game? And he makes a really good point in that video that making an indie game is like buying a lottery ticket. It is not a guarantee of
That's exactly what I was about to say.
And you have a company like Team Cherry that made Hollow Knight and Silksong. Like, they are the exception to the rule, right? This is it's not a sure thing. Going indie, making an independent game does not necessarily mean you're going to be successful or even make enough to make a second game, right?
Yep. Exactly.
And plus,
and that's
games
the
take
thing
so
is that
fucking long
it's
to
like
make
buying
these days.
It's like buying a lotto ticket, and sadly, the quality of your game does matter.
Yeah,
but that's not necessarily what's going to bring you success.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Well, and I believe he also mentioned in the video some comments that came out of Square that I thought were really interesting. It's like, now that Final Fantasy takes 5 to 7 years to make a new one, instead of like the days of the Super Nintendo and PlayStation where they were coming out with new ones every year or almost
every
annually.
Couple years.
Yeah. Now, I believe there was a comment from somebody at Square that said they're not making new Final Fantasy fans because it's just been too long.
That's true. It's becoming generational.
Entries. You have people who are growing up without a Final Fantasy at all. So
that's a really good point.
It's a really good point. And then it also, again, makes me think of the whole going through your back catalog and updating games or like improving them, adding content, making graphical additions. Like I feel like we are potentially going to see more of that happen. Like the whole Kiwami.
I think so too.
Thing, more companies are going to do that.
I worry that's a Band-Aid.
It is a Band-Aid. It absolutely is. Yeah.
Yeah. In the meantime, emulation exists, and that's where I think people need to go.
But honestly, that's not going to fix anything.
No, it's not.
Industry.
But I mean, from the consumer end, like what I'm saying is that if you want to experience something new, right? There's 40 years of content out there, 50 years of content out there, a lot of which is emulatable. It's possible to emulate.
Yeah.
And I wonder if people are going to turn to that more.
But also, because of backwards compatibility on the existing consoles,
sure,
you likely have a library of games that you missed.
That's exactly what I'm talking about.
That can be brought forward. Not piracy emulation, but a more focus on the depth of the catalog. It's like, well, I never played X game. Now I have a reason to, or I can go back and play it.
And again, I don't want to endorse piracy, but again, getting back to say the NSO, right? I'm paying my NSO subscription for 3 NES games this year so far, or I could just emulate the NES.
Well, you're paying your NSO subscription, but you're also getting GameCube games, and you're getting Virtual Boy games, and you're getting Nintendo Music. I
had to buy a peripheral for the Virtual Boy.
You're not listening to, even though Nintendo Music is awesome, and you should check it out.
I'm just saying,
Nintendo Music is real impressive.
I'm just saying the value prospect of it is not amazing right now.
I agree. I think they do.
And I say that fully feeling that Nintendo's got the best subscription price.
Yeah.
Of the three. And I do appreciate that. But
I do believe they are going to need to do something to add value.
Go up. It's going to go up, though.
It probably will.
I think we're going to get a price hike before the end of the year on NSO.
On NSO?
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Possible.
Anyway, this has been negative. It keeps getting negative. We need something more positive.
This is the thing. I don't want to be negative about video games, because right now,
it's hard right now.
As we said last episode, like 2026 is amazing for video games. There's so many good games out this year. It's just amazing. And hopefully 2027 will be the same. But it's hard to stay positive about things when, games are costing more.
And these news stories aren't helping, right? I mean, these announcements aren't helping.
Consoles are costing more. Studios are being closed. All of this talent and expertise on how to make this stuff and make really good games is being, thrown away.
Yeah.
Like if Microsoft gets rid of Rare,
who's going to maintain Sea of Thieves?
Who will maintain Sea of Thieves? No, I mean, they just announced that they're going to make a fucking Sea of Thieves movie, and then you're going to close the studio down that makes the game? Like, what sense does this make? Right?
15 and 50.
I hate it. Wait, now I'm back to being negative. Damn it.
You're the one who brought it up.
I want to be positive because there is so much stuff about video games that is amazing. We're playing games on form factors.
Hey, Grand Theft Auto 6 is going to be awesome. I can't wait for Wolverine. I'm excited about the Tomb Raider remake.
Yeah.
There's so much to be excited about this year. Don't get us wrong. Video games are awesome.
And we're playing games on handheld and then on console. There's like just more ways to play stuff.
It's just
than ever.
I feel like we're getting punch drunk off these terrible news stories. That's the problem.
We are. Yeah.
That's the problem.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
It's just not stopping. I don't want to say, just play your backlog or.
No, I know. It was in the context of the questions that were being asked.
Right.
I'm just curious to see what's going to happen. I'm curious if that's what people turn to. That's all.
Me too. I mean, hey, Google Stadia, let's bring that back so that people can play on the cloud or like rent games. Like, so yeah, if purchasing a game is your only recourse now, who's going to bring back rentals? Like,
that's interesting to me, and I'm curious. I would never happen, but I would love to see this happen rather than a game. I mean, I get why you want a Game Pass subscription because people pay monthly, and of course you want that. But boy, oh boy, I mean, for digital movies, you can rent those.
You can rent those, yeah. Sometimes they might be very expensive.
Yeah, but why not bring something like that back?
Well, and here's the other thing. PlayStation, for the PS Plus premium tier, they allow you to download game trials and play them. But that's only for the top tier of PS Plus.
Why not sell that?
I'm going exactly where you're going, which is basically, why don't you sell that trial
on a per game basis or something?
On a per game basis to anybody who has a PlayStation 5.
Yeah.
It's like, okay.
But I mean, go further than that. What I'm saying is,
and some of those trials are actually really good. Like the Cyberpunk one is like 3 hours or something. Like it's crazy. But like, I would pay money. If it's like, yes, you can play this trial for 3 hours or whatever, and then you have to buy the full version if you want it. Yeah. That'd be great. It's like why not charge people to download the trial?
But I get why they won't, or I get why they don't, because again, looking at Game Pass, it's easy to just have that subscription, and if you don't take advantage of it, that's your problem. Well, we already have your money.
That's true.
So, I mean, again, I get it. And that's why I don't see it changing. But boy, it would be interesting to see if somebody tried it.
I would love to see this is how Sony, you're going to get good PR if you do. Just basically, you announce that you're getting rid of physical discs, but you're going to do a digital rental program. And what if, I'm just spitballing here. But what if they did something so the lineup changes like every week or every month or something like that? So you log in on a Friday and the games are like GTA and Galactic Racer and Bond First Light or something like that.
It would be interesting
if you rent all three, then you only have to spend like $20 instead of.
If the pricing model was fair, it would be interesting to see how that would go. Because honestly, that makes a lot of sense, because one of the biggest problems I think Game Pass and all these services have right now, and it's the same thing with Netflix and Disney Plus and Prime, is that you've got so much choice.
Yeah, you have so much choice.
You can't find something to play or to buy or not buy, to rent or to view. Although the thing that you want is never on the service.
Generally, yes.
But and this dates both of us, but you and I both were the same age, and we both did this where it's like you head up to the rental store on a Friday night, and what's there is what's there. They don't have everything.
Yeah.
And they don't have enough copies of everything. Let's say, but I'm not saying false scarcity. I hate that in the digital world. But but what you said makes sense. It's like, here's the new releases.
Yeah.
You want to try it out.
Yeah.
$10 for like a 4-hour trial.
God, that would be amazing. Plus, that's incremental revenue for these game developers that they wouldn't have gotten off of rentals or used games.
Yeah.
Like, you could establish a new like value-centric area within PlayStation Store or whatever you're talking about.
And it's like that's available for a month or something.
Yeah.
And then we renew.
And you don't have to be a PS Plus subscriber to buy it.
Right. If you have the system and you have an internet connection, you're good.
If you are a PS Plus premium subscriber, you can go ahead and download the trials. That's fine. But if you aren't, you can rent these three. Choose one of these 3 games for the weekend.
I think something along those lines would be very positive. And again, because we live in a world where, as I said before, we're being squeezed for every cent. Every time you turn around, it's another subscription. We all have tons of subscriptions.
Yeah.
A lot of them we don't even realize we have anymore, I'd say.
Yeah.
That
I'm canceling.
It would be refreshing for somebody to come out and say, hey, look, you don't need a subscription for this. We're going to charge you ad hoc. But so if you don't want to use it, you don't have to. But if you do, it's here. And you don't have to give us $100 a year or $20 a month or whatever it is. It's not a recurring charge that you have to go through this situation, the process of canceling.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
That would be amazing.
Cool. It'd be interesting. I think it's an interesting idea.
Okay.
Yeah. Let's
Sony,
do it.
That one's for free.
No, I want to cut.
You have my number, Sony.
Do they? I mean, they have all our numbers, I'm guessing.
Sid Schumann on Blue Sky.
Wow.
Yeah. He wrote the blog entry talking about no physical discs. Anyway, I think that's a show.
I think we're done here.
I think that's it. I think we've prognosticated
putting the world to rights.
Rentals.
We should have had cups of tea while we were doing this.
Alrighty, and that is our show for this week. Thank you very much for listening. In 5 years, come back to this episode and tell us whether we were right or wrong. This is a good time capsule of an episode, really.
Yeah.
But if you have any comments on it, until then, you can direct those to @P1 Podcast on your Blue Skies. Or you can go to our internet website at player1podcast.com. There you'll find our contact information. You will find show notes and links to all the things that we talked about during this episode.
I love the things.
Me too. And I don't know if you noticed, audience, but first of all, we have chapters in the audio version of the podcast. You may have noticed last week. I think it worked out really well. Chapters in the video version as well. So once we do the audio chapters, then I also add them to the video, which I think works really nice. And then the show notes and links, once I've done them for the audio version, they also go in the video version. So you can just scroll down in the description and see all the links right there. It's just that simple.
Automation.
What?
Nothing.
Anyway, with the help of Claude, of course. Yes, and you can then, on our website, find a link to our Discord server where you can discuss this episode with us and our other listeners.
If you would like to subscribe to the Player One Podcast, you can do so by visiting player1podcast.com or by loading up your favorite podcast listening app. We're also on Spotify. You can like us on Facebook. You can watch video archives of our show on youtube.com/P1Podcast, or you can watch us live most weeks on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitch. Not all at once. I mean, you can do it all at once if you want. You don't have to.
If you want to.
Yeah.
Good.
Just follow our Blue Sky account and find out when we're doing our next live show. Typically every Sunday night at 8:30 p.m. Eastern, 5:30 p.m. Pacific.
It's true.
That's for you, CJ.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
And if you like what you heard, and how could you can head over to patreon.com/P1podcast. Throw a few shekels our way. It helps us keep the lights on and do all the stuff we normally do every week. With CJ. CJ has better lighting now. And I have terrible lighting now. I'm really jealous. So maybe we need to fix that.
See, this is how it would look normally.
Yeah.
This is how it looks with the light. I like the light.
No, it looks good. It looks really good. This is how I would look normally.
Didn't change.
It did change.
It didn't change.
Not much. You're right.
I didn't notice any change.
No, I have a little more color now.
There you
It's
go.
all blown out, though. Anyway, yeah, if you are a subscriber of the $5 tier,
Cheap.
you gain special access to a weekly bonus episode. We record it live after this, where we play games, crack wise, do all the stuff we can't do on the regular show. CJ,
Yeah.
if we don't have a game to play this week, I know it's my turn, and I have something prepared.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's right.
something prepared.
Do we have a listener game, or am I running this show?
You're running the show.
So
what are we doing?
in keeping with the negative theme of Sony no longer manufacturing disc-based games, I have a list of disc-based games that Sony released in its first year of releasing disc-based games, and that's what we're gonna do reviews, EGM reviews on. EGM review quiz.
That's awesome. I love
Don't
that.
don't go look any of that up.
I won't.
And if you have a few bucks left over, please consider supporting me on patreon.com/Greg Stewart. $3
Also cheap.
gets you early access to all my new videos. And I just recorded a new Let's Read, so that should be out in the next few weeks.
Nice.
Yeah. CJ?
By the way, I was listening to an episode of Fun Factor.
Mm-hmm.
Great podcast.
Was it the Game Now episode?
I did listen to that one. Yes.
I just finished listening to that one.
To that one. No, I was listening to the EGM 150 episode.
Oh, that was a great episode.
Great episode.
Great
a lot
issue.
of contributions from you in that episode. And they were talking about the masthead, and they were talking about all the friends that they know by name in the masthead, and they never mentioned me. I was like, what? Fun Factor, come
for
on.
years, and it might have been still in that issue, for years in the masthead, CJ was listed as news editor, thank God for Chris Johnston.
Are you
Chris
really?
CJ
Are you sure?
Yeah,
Really?
positive. Yep,
I don't remember that part. But
I do.
I was like, how is... so Aiden's running down the people on the masthead and didn't mention... I was like, shit, we got to get him back on the show so that we can...
So you can berate him. So you can
so that
browbeat him about this?
Yes.
Okay.
But Fun Factor, great podcast that everyone here should be listening to as well.
Yeah, the latest episode was on the first issue of Game Now, where they read through young Phil Theobald's Smash Bros. Melee review.
Indeed.
Yep. And hey, thank you, dear listeners, for hanging out with us every week. I hope you enjoyed that. We enjoy doing the show for you, and
Yes.
we'll talk to y'all next week.
Bye-bye.
Toodle-oo.